So today, guys, we have on Bracket Labs for a Twitter space. They are a very cool project that we're going to learn about today together. We have Mike, and we have Pelly, and we have Jason. And so if you guys don't mind, we'll start with Mike, we'll go to Pelly, and then we'll go to Jason. If you guys don't mind introducing yourselves very quickly to everyone.
Sure. Yeah, hey, guys, and thanks for hosting us here. We're really happy about that. My name is Mike. I'm one of the co-founders at Bracket Labs. Really quick background, spent most of my time in traditional financial technology at some really large companies, worked for Consensus, and then, advising large foundations in the space, and now, building this product and this technology with the team. So glad to be here. Thanks.
I'll go next. Hey, everyone. Pelly, also another co-founder of Bracket. I've been working in crypto since 2017, started in TradFi, started a company called Seed Invest that I ultimately ended up selling to Circle. From there, moved to Consensus, worked with Mike really closely on the capital team, and then split out, started a firm called Deer Creek before starting Bracket about 3 years ago, and have been really excited about DeFi.
Yeah, hi, it's Jason. I'm the Chief Technology Officer. And any technical questions, hopefully I can answer. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you guys for coming on. So very nice, diverse backgrounds. And you, when you said you worked on Consensus, like which Consensus would that be? Like the event, or is there a specific?
Oh, the Consensus, the venture studio that basically with Joe Lubin and helped basically start the Ethereum ecosystem. So some of the earliest Ethereum projects on the wallet side, on the DeFi side, we were part of incubating and helping them grow. So we're quite deep in the EVM ecosystem, as well as many of the other layer ones. So we are
very cool.
not sorry.
No, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for clarifying. Just wanted to be sure. I appreciate it. So when it comes to Bracket Labs, and I'll field this one to Mike, would you be able to give everybody listening, as well as myself here today, just an explanation of what is Bracket Labs and what does Bracket Labs do?
Sure. So Bracket Labs is the company, kind of like the development company, that builds and maintains all of the protocols that we develop and put out there. Mostly volatility products, so we'll get into that a little bit later. But we also manage it's called BracketX, which is our platform where traders can interact with all of our products in regards to kind of playing all different types of volatility in the market. So high volatility everywhere from that to like sideways markets and low volatility. And we also manage the integration of our product and protocol with others in the space. So very exciting stuff here. We're really happy to kind of tell you guys about it.
Awesome. So Bracket Labs is the parent, and then everything underneath sort of comes out in like a top-down kind of aspect, you would say.
Yeah. Yep. That's exactly right.
Amazing. Yeah, we currently have just Galxe underneath. We're working on other products from Galxe, of course, but yeah, our parent would be Bullet Labs. So I guess there's always the the shared name of the labs. But so my next question in regards to that, with the pieces that come underneath Bracket Labs, could you let us know sort of the mission of Bracket Labs and what is the main 3 or 4 products that you guys have underneath?
Sure. Yeah. So, when we started this, our mission was to kind of build financial products that, increase the accessibility of what was once really super complex and only available to sophisticated folks we wanted to make that available to people of all, like traders of all levels. So we wanted to make these leverage structured products that help you take advantage of different market conditions for everybody. And, we started with this concept of providing kind of these fixed payouts, these fixed leverage payouts. You saw like, you want to make 10 times, 5 times max, etc. So we started with our first product called Bracket, which is a leverage product that allows you to take a position, whether if you want to go long, like, hey, I think the market's going to be here in a little while, I can take this more bullish perspective, or I think the market's going to go short, I can take this more bearish perspective. It's all based on it was kind of inspired by options, but it's all native to DeFi and blockchain, the pricing and everything, which you'll get into a little bit. But that's Bracket.
Yeah.
And then on the channel side, we really innovated this one. This is basically a first of its kind product It's based on time. So, for instance, when markets are stagnant or sideways, low volatility, there's really no
Yeah,
way to make money, right? People want
it's
volatility
hard.
for
Yeah.
everything, right? They want volatility, and there was not. And this is actually, if you look at the data for the last, several years, as long as you want to go back, assets
Hmm.
like Bitcoin, ETH, they have these volatile moments, and then they go sideways, right? They go flat for a little while, and we call it into like a channel, a lot of sideways movement. Up until now, there was really
Yeah.
no way to play that. Really, there was no way to make a leverage return in that market, and so we developed a product that paid you more the more time the asset stayed within a range, like a bracketed range. And then epochs, which is a periodic buying version of channels. It doesn't require a buyer and a funder necessarily, like a market made product, like you have someone come in and provide liquidity. This, you can take the stay in or the break outside. So it's really convenient and easy because the protocol sets the pricing based on recent volatility. And you could say, hey, do I think this is a good price? And I think it's gonna, or like a wide range, and it's gonna stay in for a duration like 2 days or 7 days. Or do I think this is it's gonna break out of that range pretty quickly? And I could take the break outside if so, and I can invest as much as I want with that. So those are our three products to kind of play the different types of volatility, and we have some more stuff coming which we're excited about. But for now, that's kind of a litany of what we put out to the market.
Interesting. So the thing with channels in particular strikes me, just as you're being around for a while now, and we sometimes I've heard people call it a crab market in the side since we have a kind of an animal for everything. But
Yeah.
so what would you say if I were to come in and want to use channels? What would be sort of the user process for this?
Gotcha. So the user process is really, really easy. Channels, we've kind of distilled it, and if you try to if you want to go build a crab strategy or straddles or all these kind of fancy structured
Yeah,
strategies that people put out there, you have to know a lot about how to construct these and how to have
exactly. Yeah,
you have to know how to do this, and you have to provide collateral and margin accounts, like something that just most people don't want to do, don't know how to do. And so
yeah,
what channels does it distills it to a very simple decision. You have three options pretty much. You can buy a 24-hour, you can buy a 3-day, you can buy etc. And you have a fixed leverage payout potential, like one's going to make 3 times, one's going to make 6 times, one's going to make 10 times, etc. And you basically say, do I think the range that's indicated is doable? And for that time period, do I think it's going to stay in that range through my break even? And we have a little chart that shows that. You can look and say, hey, all I have to do is stay within this range for a day, for 8 hours, etc., and I'll be able to make more than money than I invested. And it accrues from zero. So you invest $10 or whatever, and it starts ticking up second by second by second. It's really cool. So you're never going. It's not like a binary option or something where you're going to lose everything. It just
interesting.
kind of constantly accrues. So you want to stay in the channel as long as possible until it automatically breaks out. And the
Yeah.
protocol auto claims for you, so you don't have to come back and babysit it. It's a very convenient product, and I think it's absolutely great for a majority of the market conditions that we're seeing now.
Yeah, that's very nice. Not having to babysit it at all. That sounds very nice. That's very appealing. So I think we've all spent a lot of time sitting and watching, waiting for ups and downs. So that's very nice. And so you would say that this for what level of user would you say is there sort of a cap to the level of user, or can someone who's more relatively new hop into this, or would you say you need to spend a little time first?
Jason, maybe you want to take this one on just kind of the, how
Sure.
easy these are.
Yes, apologies. Go ahead, Jason.
So, yeah, no, I mean, it's super easy to buy. As Mike was saying, you basically just decide, do you want to be in the stay in or the breakout side, if it's a channel or an epoch, and you it's very easy. I mean, it's really just one button click. Even for bracket, it's extremely easy. You basically look at the
Mhm.
ranges, decide if it's something that you think is achievable within the expiration time, and you just push a button and buy it, and it gives you leveraged payouts, which if you think about it, it's actually just kind of comparing to other options, as Mike was saying, it's just not easy because in
Mhm.
order to construct something like a bull call spread or a bear put spread, it basically you have to buy a leg and sell a leg of an option. And in order to buy a leg, it's easy, but to sell a leg, you got to actually have a collateral account. If you buy something very popular is this idea of perpetual futures. But perpetual futures, they have a problem where they liquidate you. So in our applications, there are no liquidations at all. And how we solve that is because we basically limit the upside, right? So with brackets, you have a maximum claim you can make. With channels. Once it pops out, you get the amount of money that is the maximum claim. And with epochs, you get a maximum claim too, which is, when it starts, it tells you what your maximum claim is based on sort of the imbalance within the market. So everything, so there's no margin required, no liquidations. It's a 1 or 2 click buy. It's a very easy illustration that we show you to understand your payoff. There's just nothing all that complicated about it. When you compare to perps, when you have these variation margins and you got all kinds of reasons to have to come back and adjust your position. They might liquidate you. It's all very hard. We also have an email alert system, which is kind of a nice thing. Which as things happen, it just sends you emails. It says, "Oh, your channel or your epoch is broke out of the channel, and this is your payout." We also have a very low payout, so it's only $10 to try, and then you can always invest bigger, once you become comfortable. But there's no high barrier to entry. We also do everything in ETH. In the case of Arbitrum, so it makes it easy. You don't have to buy any special coin or anything like that. And it's just a very easy product to get into. It gives you the ability to buy leverage without any of the complications normally associated with it. It's a beautiful product.
Yeah, I agree. This sounds very interesting. I like the idea of a very simple perpetual, just because I think many of us have been there getting liquidated before. So I certainly have, trying to learn and understand more towards the beginning of when I got into crypto. And then it was just kind of like the more people I spoke to, the more they were like, just avoid it altogether because it is so complicated and it's so easy to get liquidated.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people, what they do is they just over lever on it, and they don't realize
every time,
and they lose.
And they don't realize how quickly that interest rate that they charge you will basically eat your position down to nothing. But also just one other thing. When you think about how you could construct something like channels or epochs, I mean, I don't even know how you would do it with what's available. I know how you do it with like TradFi maybe, but I don't understand how you would even do it with the pieces that are available on the
very difficult
in DeFi.
I agree.
Because I mean, how else are you going to get something where you basically have something that can make money while it sits in a channel, goes sideways, which really is our biggest problem
it is
in DeFi, because it so much of the time when you look at charts, it's DeFi is sort of a bunch of spikes followed by sort of sitting in channels, and it it doesn't just like trend up and trend down. It sort of like pops up and then sort of sits and pops up and then sits and then pops down. So all of those times people have no way to make money. I mean, especially this year, you think about December, January, it was just a very flat market. Like and every other product is, every other product is buy low, sell high. And this is a product where it basically is made to make you money while nothing's really doing all that much movement. So I think it's a very innovative thing for the type of market we're in. It would be very difficult to replicate with other products.
I completely agree. It's something needed, honestly, with because we don't know how long these sideways markets go. Honestly, we can often talk about previous movements, right? But we're now in a different position, like as far as like how large the market has come, that I don't think we're able to accurately predict how long these things will last anymore. So I agree. I think that's very cool, and I'm super. One of the best parts about doing these calls is I get to learn as well, right? So I'm excited to give this a try, actually. So I can actually go and just hop on and try this today. It's available right now.
We're live. Yeah, we're live on Arbitrum Mainnet with all three of those products: Bracket, Channel, Epoch. Epoch again is the kind of super simple,
Yeah.
like buy the stay in or break outside, and they just open up. And just to kind of highlight them, I don't know if there's anywhere else in the market at all that you can make these kind of returns in flat or
Yeah.
sideways markets. I mean, we're seeing returns in like the quote unquote winning side, the one that has the highest kind of multiple payout based on the balance of time in the channel in that Epoch.
Yeah.
We're seeing, but the between like 1.1 all the way up to 10 times, with the average kind of in that 2 to 3 ish range on the winning side. And so it's been really good for a lot of people. And these run for 2 and 7 days, so they have a realistic use as a hedge on the market, or as a position
Hmm.
on the market, as opposed to these like super short term, other types of products we've seen in the market that have no real use case. So we think we've really threaded the needle on that. I mean, I don't know anyone else making 2 to 7 times in a 2 to 7 day period at all in this market, or any market,
That's
when it's
huge. Yeah.
totally perked out and every volatility is high. But again, if
Yeah.
you look back at the data, most of the time the markets go in and out of these super volatile times. And so when they're sitting flat like this, there's very few options that people can try. And epochs are a tremendous one to get yourself kind of familiar. And then once you get a little more familiar, you can try channels, because you can not only can you buy them, but you can fund them. And as a funder,
Yeah.
you're basically deciding how wide do I want that channel to be, right? And I'm collateralizing it myself. And so you could take a
That's
position
really
from
cool.
that. But epochs are the greatest starting point for people who are just like, hey, I just want to try this out.
Yeah.
And
No, I
also,
agree. Sorry, go ahead.
to chime in, so I think all of our team members are also have been participating in yield farms for quite some time, and in
Hmm.
general, the yields that we find in a lot of the market money markets are really low, right? Like, I mean, stable coins, you're getting sometimes 1%, 2%, and that's not even as good as what you get in traditional markets. And so I think a lot of people are looking for solutions, that are a little bit higher, but are, in sort of a DeFi centric way. And so that's something that we're really excited about as well.
Yeah. And they're not
No,
just,
that's really
straight
cool.
up printing tokens, you know what I mean? Like those
Yeah.
issuance
Yeah.
tokens, which, I'm not going to comment on anybody, but I mean, we don't have that. And it's like, it's not just, these weird, APYs that are developed from pretty much thin air. There's a real market here.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think we see a lot of those kind of thin air projects appear when it gets kind of volatile, actually, which is funny. But and then they'll
100%.
disappear when it goes quiet again. But the one thing I'm curious about, and I'll fill this one to Pelly. So we have Bracket, Channels, Epoch. These are available. These are live. I believe Bracket launched about 2.5 months ago. Would you be able to talk a bit about how, even in a sideways market like this, how has the reception been for these products?
Yeah, so we've run testnet, and now all three are on mainnet. The response has been really tremendous in what we consider a bear market. So we've had over 9,000 both buyers and funders, over
Very nice.
12.5 thousand transactions, and that's across all three products. And specifically in the last week, we launched last Monday with Epoch and Channel. We've had, as
Yep.
of this morning, over 2,000 Epochs purchased, over 1,000 buyers, so all different wallets, and we're seeing people starting to buy multiple assets. So we have 10 different assets that we support. So not just Bitcoin and Ethereum, but also Dogecoin, Matic, BNB. They're all on Arbitrum, but because we use Chainlink as an oracle, we're able to
Yeah.
look at other assets on other ecosystems. So that's been really, really cool.
Wow, those are some very good numbers, even off because so Bracket's been on for 2.5 months, and then those other numbers are for just the last 2.5 weeks.
Just 1 week.
Just the
Um,
last week,
one
actually.
week?
Yeah,
Oh, the
since
one
last
week. Oh,
Monday.
yeah.
2,000 epics in 1 week. So people are loving that product for sure. And channels have done quite well too. The community has really like, come
Yeah.
in and started to fund a lot because they're realizing the opportunity there. And it's a fun product because, like Jason said, you're seeing the dollar signs go up as a buyer. If you buy the product, you buy a channel, for instance, you see that you're accruing, over time, and it goes up. So it's not like some binary thing. And as a funder, you can play that volatility in your favor too. If things if things get less volatile, or more volatile, you can price as you would. So it's definitely seen a good uptick in this market condition.
Yeah,
That's
and
very
one of the
cool.
things, sorry, we
No,
also,
go ahead.
have been trying to spend a lot of time on educating, right? So we've
Yeah.
been really active on Medium, but we also are trying to do more of these Twitter Spaces, and just, explaining, because we know that it's different than what people have been sort of used to. And so I think, that's kind of just part of the educational process, is to explain, that it's different than perps. They don't necessarily close the same way that perps do. But it's, again, we try to make it really easy. And I think once people try it out, like the initial, you buy an Epic, you spend, $10, and then you kind of see how it works. And that's been great for us to see repeat buyers.
No, I agree, and I think that the best, I say the easiest usable system, like you mentioned. So if it is like obviously as simple as you say, I think that will actually help the learning curve the most, because I find a lot of people in crypto learn more by doing rather than reading.
Yep.
It's very helpful, yeah, but doing it for like the last like few years, it's such a struggle to get people to read the information rather than just have a just good system, right? Like a good UI, a
Mhm.
good program. So so if you're already there, that's perfect in my opinion. So I think that education wise, you guys will have a great continuation, especially with these original numbers already. So it's exciting to see. And so my next question for you would be in the sense of NFTs alongside, I believe there's an NFT launch program. If you wouldn't mind going over that as well, Pelly.
Yeah, so the cool thing is we've linked an NFT for each purchase. And
Yeah,
there's kind of a twofold sort of purpose for that. One, it's because the contracts, have different time periods. And it's a way for people that hold the NFT to claim against what they've purchased. So, like, if you hold the NFT, you actually get, the payoff if, you're on the winning side for Epic or whatnot. So that's sort of the main purpose. The secondary purpose that we've found is that it's a great way for us to create more of a customer loyalty program, so that we can see
yeah,
people that are buying either many of these things. And we, recently last week did a giveaway with Arbitrum ID, which, for 40 of our users, we were able to give them an ARB ID so that they can create a domain name. And those are some of the
yeah,
things that
yeah,
we're really excited about, because, we see that there's a great sort of like NFT community, there's a great DeFi community, and now there's starting to be more crossover. And
I
that,
agree. Yeah,
like, people are thinking, hey, like, if we have, people that are, super buyers, they have, when we first started with Bracket, we had something called an OG club, and then diamond, black, gold, and silver, based on when they purchased different contracts. And so we can sort of reward people that were really early, give them, special perks, or also, for them to kind of like chat with each other, talk about different strategies, etc. And so we're building out that program. We definitely see that's going to be, kind of like the future of DeFi and NFTs, sort of, working together to create a
yeah.
better community. And, like, we're thinking about like better trading fees, like for people that are super buyers, and that's going to be a great perk that they want, that we see, be successful on centralized exchanges as well.
No, I agree. I think these loyalty programs and the use of NFTs alongside like domain names like ArbID, for example, is really great. ArbID popped up after Space ID, and we're just seeing more
Yep.
and more of these like really amazing domain name projects pop up. We were working with, we did some campaigns with Space ID originally, and I think we are doing some now with ArbID as well.
Yep.
It's really nice to be the infrastructure that people can use for that and see these communities grow and just be kind of together, right? So,
Mhm.
very, very excited for us to continue to do these things together as well. It's super fun. So, Yeah, I just want to thank you guys for that, for coming on for that. And my next question for you would be in regards to the future. We talked a lot about stuff we just launched. Is there anything you'd like to talk about for sort of on the future roadmap for BracketX?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we're just getting started. Our team has been, we were quiet for a while developing, but now,
Yeah.
we're shipping and and we work at the speed of light in developing a lot of these products, and we kind of come up with things, and we're planning out a whole kind of roadmap for them.
Yeah.
But the immediate roadmap, which we will talk about, is we want to expand like Pally said, the educational components of this, but also the reach. Right? We want to get more people to take advantage of these products that that otherwise didn't have access. So we're probably going to be expanding on other chains, including Polygon, the next month or so, BNB as well. So there's going to be two new kind of user bases that will be exposed to our products. We'll also see us popping up as well for like integrations. So as you can imagine, these primitives that we built are not just useful as these kind of volatility tools on our own platform, BracketX, but they can be woven into other people's products as something they could buy straight up, just like, let's just say, a white labeled version or a version that we have that they can kind of sit on their platform, but also just for cool use cases, right? Like, for instance, impermanent loss is a massive issue among LPs on dexes, and that requires a direct hedge with with the pair. And so with our primitive, we can do that, and so that's in the future as well. And we'll also be working on a kind of futures inspired product, which we're really excited about. Not ready to talk about it yet, as it's not completely like public or anything, but that will be also a BracketX related product. But we have a kind of a multi-pronged approach to going to market here. It's not only our products, but we're going to grow through real estate and integration with other dexes and other platforms that need these types of
Of course.
tools for traders to kind of be continue. You know how dexes are. They need traders to
They
hang
do,
out
yeah.
there, to create, to generate fees, but also to have like good products they can use in all market conditions, which really haven't been provided to them. Everyone's on the
No, I
perp
agree.
train right now, but there's a lot more that you can do that are is better for the buyers. A lot of these buyers lose in these products they don't really understand and they don't know how to maintain, and so we're on that path with Bracket and BracketX. So we're really excited about it.
Amazing. I love to hear these plans for the future. I think everybody does. With that, getting towards the end here, guys, I just want to mention, if we haven't already, down below, we'll link the current campaign that we're doing with Bracket. It's the intro to Epoch. Take a look. Just as we just talked about, they launched 2 brand new products. So go check that out, please, guys, of course. And as we come to the end here, is there any final words you guys would like to say before we close out for today regarding anything we talked about today or even just the future again?
I have nothing else to say besides, really grateful for you to give us this audience, as well as to help us, spread the word about our products. And, one thing I think to take away, from me at least, is that, we're developing tools that are DeFi and blockchain native, with pricing strategies and pricing, and kind of interactions that are designed for blockchain, not just ported over from TradFi into DeFi or from a centralized exchange into DeFi because they had to. We're building for DeFi natively, which I think sets us apart. And there's a slight learning curve for new users,
Yeah.
but I think they'll get it pretty quickly once they give Epochs a try, for instance.
No, yeah, you got me hooked after today. So I'm super excited to hear about this. Guys, don't miss out on this. Make some money in the sideways market if you can. Learn something brand new. That's what it's all about. Make sure you guys check out the campaign. We're going to link it below. I want to thank each of you for coming on today. Pally, Mike, Jason, super appreciative. I love learning about these new things. I'm going to go and participate in the intro to Epoch as well. Once again, we'll link it below. And thanks again, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Duncan. Really appreciate the opportunity. And to everyone else, definitely feel free to, be active and share your questions with us. We're, on Twitter, we're on Discord, all channels. So don't be shy to ask us any questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Bye-bye.
Thanks again, guys. And we'll close out for now and we'll see you next time.